What happens when one of television's most outspoken hosts goes head-to-head with one of Hollywood's sharpest actresses, and the conversation spirals so far out of control that it ends with a shocking resignation? The entertainment world is still reeling from what unfolded on The View, and what you're about to hear will explain exactly why Joy Behar walked away from the show she helped build. But before we get into this wild story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below telling me what you think about all of this, because trust me, you're going to have opinions. The studio audience was buzzing with its usual energy as Emily Blunt walked onto the set. She looked effortlessly put together in a navy suit, smiling as she waved to the crowd. The applause was loud and warm. Emily was there to promote her latest film, a serious drama about political corruption that was already getting awards buzz. On paper, it should have been a routine interview, but the moment she sat down, something shifted. There was a tension that did not belong in a daytime talk show. Joy Behar leaned in early, skipping past small talk faster than usual. After a few polite questions, she asked what everyone could feel coming. Emily's film was political. Did Emily believe actors had a responsibility to speak out, or should they stick to entertaining people? Emily paused before answering. She chose her words carefully, saying she believed acting was about telling stories, not instructing audiences on what to think. She said political views were personal and that people were capable of forming their own opinions. Joy did not let it go. She pushed harder, suggesting Emily was avoiding responsibility. The room grew quiet. Emily's tone stayed calm, but her posture stiffened. She explained that respecting the audience meant trusting them, not lecturing them. Joy countered that misinformation was everywhere and that celebrities had influence whether they liked it or not. That was when the conversation tipped. Emily questioned why every discussion in American media had to become a political test. She said privacy was not cowardice. The audience gasped. Joy took offense, accusing Emily of privilege and comfort. Emily pushed back, saying Joy did not know her life or her experiences. The back and forth escalated quickly. Other hosts tried to intervene, but neither woman backed down. When Joy dismissed Emily's refusal as fence-sitting, Emily stood up, removed her microphone, and calmly said she was done being ambushed. She walked off the set. The silence that followed was heavy. Joy stood frozen, angry and shaken. No one knew yet that this moment would change everything. And as the cameras cut to commercial, the real fallout was just beginning. Should I make the next chapter or stop here? When the commercial lights came on, the atmosphere changed from shock to confusion. Joy sat down hard, her hands visibly shaking. She felt blindsided, not just by Emily walking off, but by how the moment looked. One of her co-hosts asked if she was okay. Joy snapped back, clearly still running on adrenaline. She felt accused on her own show, and that cut deep. Whoopi tried to calm things down, reminding everyone that the show was on tape delay and could be edited. That only made Joy more defensive. She worried the edit would make her look like the villain. Others gently suggested the conversation had escalated faster than it needed to. They pointed out that bringing up privilege might have crossed a line. Joy refused to back down. She insisted her question was fair and that Emily had overreacted. But the room did not fully agree with her. The subtle shift was painful. For the first time, Joy felt alone at the table. When she stood up and removed her microphone again, she said she needed a minute and walked off the set. The audience watched in stunned silence as producers scrambled. The remaining hosts were told they had less than 2 minutes. Before returning from break, Whoopi took control, deciding to move forward without Joy if needed. When they went back on air, Joy was gone. The hosts tried to carry on, but the energy was off. Everyone could feel it. This was not normal television drama. This was something breaking in real time. Backstage, Joy paced her dressing room while her phone buzzed nonstop. She already knew the headlines were forming. She had spent decades being the tough one, the blunt one, the one who asked what others would not. But now she wondered if that role had finally caught up with her. A senior producer came in and asked if she was coming back to finish the show. The question felt heavier than it sounded. Joy realized this was not just about one interview. It was about years of pressure, criticism, and being expected to play the same role every day. When the producer pressed her for an answer, Joy said no. Not today. Not anymore. The producer tried to slow her down, suggesting she take time and think. But Joy felt something settle inside her. A calm she had not expected. She said she was done, not taking a break. not cooling off. Done. As she gathered her things, the weight of the decision hit her. But so did a strange sense of relief. She walked out of the building without looking back. Should I make the next chapter or stop here? On set, the show continued, but only technically. The host smiled, tasted food, and wrapped segments while everyone avoided the obvious question. When the cameras stopped rolling, the truth came out quietly. Joy had quit. Not taken leave. Not stormed off temporarily. Quit. Within hours, social media exploded. Clips leaked. Opinions formed instantly. Some viewers defended Joy, saying she was doing her job and asking necessary questions. Others praised Emily for setting boundaries and refusing to be pressured into public declarations. Many thought both sides had valid points and that the situation spiraled unnecessarily. The network released a short statement that evening. Joy Behar had decided to step away to focus on other opportunities. It was vague and clean and emotionally empty. Joy herself said nothing. For someone known for never staying quiet, the silence was loud. Emily's team released a longer response. It emphasized respect, boundaries, and the right to privacy. One line stood out. Respecting someone's humanity even when you disagree. That phrase fueled days of debate. Was it a criticism or an attempt at peace? 3 days later, Whoopi addressed the situation on air. She spoke carefully, acknowledging the disagreement without assigning blame. She reminded viewers that everyone involved was human. Sunny defended Joy's long history of asking tough questions. Sarah pointed out the importance of not making assumptions. Alyssa talked about the culture of constant opinion sharing and how exhausting it had become. It was one of the most thoughtful conversations the show had aired in years. And Joy was not there for it. At home, Joy watched. She saw her co-host struggle to balance loyalty and honesty. She felt seen and questioned at the same time. When Whoopi texted her afterward, telling her she owed no one an explanation, Joy felt something loosen inside her. She did not know if she would regret leaving. She only knew she had chosen herself. The fight with Emily was the spark, but not the cause. This decision had been building for years. The pressure to always be sharp, always be combative, always be on. For the first time in a long time, Joy felt quiet. And that quiet felt earned. Should I make the next chapter or stop here? In the days that followed, the narrative solidified. Joy Behar had quit The View in the middle of a show. Some called it dramatic. Others called it brave. The truth was messier. It was a woman realizing she could not keep carrying the same role without losing herself in the process. Joy did not do interviews. She did not tweet. She let the noise happen without adding to it. Friends said she was resting, thinking, breathing. For decades, her identity had been tied to a table, a camera, and the expectation that she would challenge everyone who sat across from her. Walking away meant stepping into uncertainty. The show moved on, as television always does. New discussions, new guests, a slightly different tone. But something had changed. Viewers noticed it. Even those who disagreed with Joy felt her absence. Love her or hate her, she had been a constant. The larger conversation continued outside the show. Should celebrities be expected to share their politics? Where is the line between tough questions and personal boundaries? When does passion turn into pressure? There were no clear answers, only strong opinions. Joy watched from a distance. She replayed the moment in her head, wondering if she could have handled it differently. She also wondered how many times she had swallowed exhaustion to keep going. This time, she had not. Walking away did not mean she was wrong or that Emily was right, or the other way around. It meant Joy had reached a point where continuing felt heavier than leaving. And that realization mattered more than winning an argument. She had built a career on speaking her mind. This time, her most powerful statement was silence. Not as punishment, not as retreat, but as choice. Whether history judges her kindly or harshly remains to be seen. What is certain is that the moment forced a reckoning, not just for a show, but for how public conversations are shaped, and who pays the cost for keeping them alive. So now it comes back to you. Was Joy right to walk away? Did she overreact? Was Emily right to draw the line? Or did both women expose something uncomfortable but necessary? And the bigger question for me is simple. Should I make the next chapter or let this story end right here?